Brought you the march live here on Channel 2 and on click2houston.com. And we still have several of our crews downtown to show you what's going on there right now.
Channel 2's Mario Diaz is live near Walker and Travis. Mario, what are you seeing right now?
Chris, this is the scene behind me right here. You can see that officers are lined up. You do have marchers that are standing in front of them just inches away. They have been here for about the last 45 minutes. It started with a very small group, mushroomed into a much larger gathering on both sides. And in the last 3 minutes, we have heard HPD tell the crowd clearly that it is going to start to clear the street here shortly as they want to open up this street and allow traffic to come back through again. This has been going on for the last 45 minutes. HPD has been strategic throughout the course of the entire afternoon, as well as the last hour at this location, and the crowd has been expressing their concerns and expressing their voices, saying it loud so that everyone in the general area can hear. We've been monitoring this very closely again for the last 45 minutes. This is exactly how it's been playing out during that time, except that we now know there is a timeline, an expiration date on this standstill here, and HPD would like to clear this street here in the next few minutes. Of course, we're going to have complete coverage of this throughout the course of the newscast. Live in downtown Houston, Mario Diaz, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
All right, Mario, thank you for that. We want to go live now to Michael Laparty.
Yes, he's at the intersection of San Jacinto and Walker, and just like Mario, he too is surrounded by a large crowd. Michael?
Yeah, guys, there is a police line right out here. This is going across San Jacinto. And what you may not be able to see, but there is a man that's down there laying on the ground in front of the police as part of to make his message heard, I guess you could say. Some of the people here, they've been interacting with the police. They've been saying some things to them. There has not been any sort of scuffle here that I could tell, at least in the last few minutes that I've been standing out here. They've been talking to each other, going back and forth. There's a lot of people here right now. But once again, this has been remaining peaceful, at least as long as I have been watching it out here. I have not been able to get close enough just yet to hear exactly what they were saying or what they were talking about. But you can see quite the crowd has gathered out here. This was actually really busy for the march earlier. I mean, we saw huge crowds coming through right past this intersection. They went past this way originally to get to City Hall and then came back to go back towards Discovery Green. This is the crowd that's gathered here, I would say, in the last half an hour or so. And you see the police, they're standing there at their line, and you see that man, he's talking to them right now. But I can't hear exactly what he's saying. We're going to keep an eye on this crowd here. We'll bring any updates throughout the newscast. But right now, we're live downtown. I'm going to send it back to you guys.
All right, Michael Laparty live downtown. Thank you for that.
Our Brandon Walker was at the center of it all when everybody made their way to the reflection pool at City Hall. That's where he remains with a recap. Brandon?
Yeah, Dominique, and there remains a crowd here. You can see over here, actually, Houston's Chief of Police Art Acevedo speaking to people who remain following the 2 hours that the march took place here. People here say that they're excited to be Houstonians, considering the message that was spread today and the change that they hope will take its root as a result of what you saw here today and what supporters say you'll continue to see here in our community. There were mothers, there were fathers, and we spoke to one mother who felt compelled to bring her son here. Here's what she had to say after the speaker stopped speaking.
I want him to understand that even when you want to have a voice, it needs to be planned, it needs to be organized. Even in anger, you still have to think about it and be strategic in your efforts. And I wanted him to see how people come together and gather even in difference and in understanding about what is just simply right and wrong.
I think voices should be heard, and this is the time that we should actually be heard. I mean, we've been trying to get heard for so long, and now is the time that they're actually starting to pay attention.
I think everything is really peaceful, and everybody got along. There's a lot of different people out here, different colors, different everything, and we out here marching for the justice. Hope we get it.
Everybody came out here for a specific reason, not to destroy our city, because I am a Houstonian. So, I mean, hey, something has to be voiced all around the world or just here, and it starts with us.
It starts with us. The final word there, as you can see, Houston Police Chief Rod Azevedo speaking to crowds here, talking to people about their thoughts about being out here today. I don't want to interrupt his conversation, but I do want to ask him or just get an idea of what the conversation is as people speak to him about how they feel out here today. Those conversations taking place throughout the afternoon here. The chief has talked about the importance of justice for George Floyd here, and that's what he continues to do as he speaks to Houstonians who are out here today, taking to the streets in the name of George Floyd. Again, we're trying to be polite as Houstonians speak to the chief of police, their chance to do so right now, to talk to him about how they feel. Other people doing the same. Hey, Chief, real quick, I just want to ask you just the importance of speaking to the people out here today. What are they telling you, and why are you here?
Well, because people want to be heard. I'm the police chief, and the good, the bad, and the ugly all falls on me. And quite frankly, if you don't listen to people and you don't hear what they have to say, you can't address concerns. And so I know I'm going to be testifying in Congress about the issues that we're facing as a nation, and I have to be able to hear what people have to say, and what people are worried about and what people want, so I can speak from the knowledge I'm gaining by talking to the folks out here.
Certainly, sir. Not everyone out here agrees with you. You hear people saying we're hurting, Chief.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, no, because some folks want change today, and a lot of the change that we need to really maximize the job that we do, the professionalism, requires action, legislative action. Yes, ma'am.
The terrible actions are happening today. So that's why we're saying that, Chief. That's why we feel like that.
So the thing is, when you see something bad, you got to take action. You got to do the right thing without exception. And one of the things that when we actually have disciplinary cases, it's a public record, and nobody. In Austin, everybody knew because everybody looked at them. But here, people don't even know, because they don't know it's a civil service document that they can actually see.
One of the things, Chief, and I know that you want to keep going here to talk to folks. One thing that a couple people talked about out here was a civilian review board with subpoena power. I'm curious as to your thoughts on that.
You know, it's we have two different versions of that. One is for an entire board of citizens, and one is that actually looks at investigations, and one actually looks at critical incidents where the chairs that are all appointed by mayor and council actually look at the investigation, make recommendations for discipline for the chief, and can actually have the authority to ask for more investigation and to have more evidence looked at, which they have done before. And they're really the eyes and ears of the community. The fact that they can actually do that is, they're not subpoena power, but they can actually do it. And at the end of the day, all they have to do is ask the mayor to do it, and the mayor can make it happen.
Should they have subpoena power?
I don't have a problem with that. I'm not worried about oversight, because ultimately we have oversight. Obviously, oversight is everything that we have.
Chief, I thank you for your time. The Chief of Police here, Rod Azevedo, speaking to people out here. Excuse me, ma'am. Thank you for your time. I just want to ask you, you were talking to the Chief. What were you talking to him about, just in case people didn't hear you? And what are you hoping for?
I just wanted him to know that we're hurting. And he made the statement that we all want change. We want something to happen now. I just wanted to remind him that the deaths were happening now. The injustices were happening now. So it's just an equal balance.
What do you think about today? What are your thoughts following today's march?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Everyone is out here. They're voicing their opinions and their concerns. Children are here with their parents so they can learn and understand what's going on in our country today. I think it's beautiful.
I thank you for your time, ma'am. Thank you. So there you have it, folks. I'm going to move out of the way here. You can see the Chief of Police there, other folks here. The lady just told us, we're hurting, and that's what they want local officials to know. This gathering here, these conversations taking place for about the past hour or so following the conclusion of this rally, guys. People out here say that they're tired, they're pushing for change, and they just hope that that happens. We're live downtown at City Hall. I'm Brandon Walker, KPRC Channel 2 News.
Brandon, thank you. We continue our team coverage now with Jacob Rascone, also at City Hall tonight.
Jacob was live at City Hall all afternoon, where all those people, thousands upon thousands, were gathered for hours. Jacob?
And Dominique and Chris, still several hundred protesters or marchers, demonstrators remain out here in front of the east side of City Hall in a line of a few dozen officers. And those who are in attendance are chanting and yelling, and so far it has been peaceful. Let's take you to some video of what this looked like earlier today. And we climbed on top of rapper Trey the Truth's Relief Gang Mobile Rescue Unit is what they call it. It's just a double-decker truck there, and you could see just how many thousands of people packed into the reflection pool area and then spilling into the streets on the other side. You know, and we met people so young and the elderly and from every background and ethnicity and race, and they had one thing in common at least, which was George Floyd. And we spoke to one man, a former police officer whose son is a current police officer, who drove from an hour away feeling strongly that he just had to be here.
We got to change, man. This nation's got to change. We got to stop seeing people of color as somebody that's not our brothers and sisters. You know, we all bleed the same blood. Most of us believe in the same God. You know, how can we look at somebody just because of the color of their skin and believe they're different than us? We're not any better than them. They're not any better than us. We're all equal.
One of many people that we spoke to expressed a similar sentiment. He was there, his wife was there, other friends were there. They drove in from out of town. We met people from Dallas, and all of them were just, they say, proud to be here, especially the families that we talked to, a couple of friends with their children, hoping this would be a positive experience, and they left feeling like they got exactly that. And so this is everything so far that the organizers hoped it would be. And again, even though we're out here with several hundred people facing off with the police, it is all remains peaceful. Reporting from outside here at City Hall, Jacob Rascon, Dominique and Chris, back to you.
Jacob, thank you for your report. So City Hall flanked right there at Smith Street and Walker and McKinney, and we're going to take you a little bit farther down Walker Street now at Austin.
That's right. Phil Archer is there as people are making their way out of that area. Phil?
Yeah, you can see we're a good 7-8 blocks from City Hall, and still people coming from that event at City Hall that ended a good hour ago, still coming back up here headed toward Tranquility Park to finally leave. Now, this has been a remarkable day. I think anybody would have to admit in this city. I'm sorry, I'm getting some feedback. In that, you had all these people come together, tens of thousands of people by the appearance of this crowd, came together to express and to share sorrow and sympathy and anger and hope, and do all of that peacefully. I think that says something really about the people who organized this event, and it certainly says something about the city, our city, where it was held. Now, you see folks headed back up there to Tranquility Park, but we found a couple that aren't in a hurry to get away. You guys went to the rally. Why aren't you going home?
We're just so frustrated with the systems at place. Just a pattern of not prosecuting police officers for murdering citizens. And still being here in solidarity with people that aren't just black and brown. Just a whole city coming together. And I think this moment is something we need to remember, and that's why we're still out here.
Let me ask your name. What's your name?
Justin.
Justin. And for the rest of you, how's this day been? Did it bring any comfort at all? And did it change anything, do you think?
I think,
Anybody?
Well, honestly, for me, it's been a very emotional day. Like, just realizing that this is the life that we live as black men, and this is the world that we have to exist in. And seeing that there's people fighting, but there's still not change being made, is really disheartening. So we just got to keep pushing.
So there's more to do from this. All right. Well, listen, thanks for talking to us. Stay safe, stay well, and stay hydrated. It's still pretty hot out here. So the crowd beginning to break up after a remarkable day in Houston. And apparently, from what I'm hearing, or apparently what I am hearing, is that this is the beginning for a lot of these folks who really want to see some change happen. This is the kickoff. Reporting live from downtown, I'm Phil Archer, KPRC Channel 2 News.